Hi, my name is Edward Kurczewski and I've been working in 2D traditional animation for over 10 years and have contributed to projects like Scavenger's Reign, Primal, Flea and Tales of Alatreon. Working in animation has been my dream as long as I can remember. I've always wanted to create worlds and bring characters to life. The first challenge I faced was, where do I start? Where I can learn this? I noticed that many others has the same questions. After getting my 2 master degrees in animation and earning experience in professional industry, I've decided to share my knowledge with you. That's why I created Animation Club.School. Our school is a team of working animators who act like a bridge between students and the industry. We realize that many students struggle to build high professional skills required to secure their job in the industry. So we designed our courses to help you develop an outstanding portfolio. At the moment, we primarily focus on 2D animation. It's where we have the most expertise and it's my personal passion. We want to see more people thrive in this art form. Each course is carefully designed to deliver knowledge while honing practical skills through hands-on tasks. The curriculum builds gradually over several levels, enabling students to master the program step by step. We aim to help students understand complexity of 2D animation, assess difficulty of the tasks realistically, and set achievable goals to their growth. Our primary focus is on developing animation skills to meet industry standard. While drawing skills are essential, we leave their development to each student individually. However, we encourage outside art study and even offer free drawing sessions in our Discord. Currently, we offer over 12 different courses and we continually adding new professional programs to meet industry demands. But that's not all. Here's what else we offer. Weekly videos that dive into different aspects of animation industry, free monthly masterclass live streams with a mentor, short tutorials across all our social media platforms, an active Discord community where you can connect to passionate creatives from around the world. If you like what you've heard so far, follow us on our social media and check out our courses on our website. I can't wait to see what you create with us.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully this time my microphone is working. My name is Kata. This is, as you figured, Animation Club School. And whether you found us through your recommended or through a link on our Discord channel, or you've been subscribed to us for a while, welcome. As you've probably seen me a couple of times, I'm already a familiar face. This is Loop-de-Loop, a little workshop to practice foundation skills for beginning and intermediate and maybe some advanced if you like watching this animators. Everyone is welcome here, and usually today we were actually planning to have a community spotlight, but unfortunately we didn't get yet a single project of yours, so that's why we're running Loop-de-Loop today, which makes me a little bit heartbroken, but at the same time I understand sometimes we feel that our project isn't ready or we just don't have one, which is also absolutely normal. But let's hope next month we are going to have someone who will be willing to share their creation from the heart with the world and maybe find some additional help along the way. From Epic, yes, was made by our graduates here in the short film creation course, which runs for about, I think, 4 months. And you basically get to create the storyboard, design the characters, make the whole film basically from scratch in a whole production. So glad to have you here as well. Last time, let me actually change the screen so we'll be able to see what's going on my tablet, because I'm getting very distracted by the running lights, so now you'll be distracted as well. Before we jump into animation, I wanted to show you what we did last time and the fact that I shared it on the Discord server as well. On it, because I have to plug it a little bit, how can I not? We not only run our community spotlight form where you could submit your project, but we also do weekly practices. One is called Sunday sessions, where we do figure drawing. Last time, I'm obviously showing you my pictures. We've been drawing some fair maidens in dresses with swords and crossbows. And on Thursdays, we run Tour de Film, where we take about 3 or 4 screenshots from beautiful films and we draw them together on a specific timer. This is my result from last week, and next week, we're probably going to have something as equally beautiful. And you're absolutely free to join us. It's an open practice for everyone, and it runs about at the same time as we have the stream right now. So if you're free on Thursdays and Sundays, you're always welcome to join us. So this is our result from last week. Last week we talked a little bit about timing, spacing, and the easiest exercise you can do to get a warm-up as an animator and practice all of the foundational skills such as timing, spacing, and so much more. And the result, we have this, a cute little cat with a bunch of fireflies flying in the night sky. Hello. Nope, none of you are late. I was actually a little late, about like 5, maybe a couple of minutes, not 5, but thankfully we are here and gathered today. There's actually a lot of you, so I'm getting a little nervous, so you'll have to excuse me. Yeah, we started from a bunch of dots. We decided to move them and give some character to their movements. Some were more fast, zipping around, some were more slow and gradual, and in the end, we created this. And actually, someone said, Annie said, I wish I saw last week's video. You're still able. All of them are in the playlist called Community Spotlight and Loop de Loop, or like Friday workshops, and you're able to access them all post stream, post live. And I know about, I don't know, 200 people watch it after the live actually ends. So whether you're watching this in a live or recording, feel free to leave a comment. And today we're actually going to be doing also a very fun exercise. We're also going to practice some of our major tools and principles we use when we animate. So the tool itself consists, let me look at the presentation. Oh no, this was supposed to be cool. No! What's going on? There we go. Timing. It also requires spacing, and it's almost like a magician's trick, and we usually call it the switch. The switch is used in a lot of different animations, usually when we try to make a movement or to the viewer to believe a movement is happening without actually drawing all of the drawings in between. A lot of the charm in the animation comes not from the drawings themselves, but from the space that occupies between the frames and what the viewer sees as the end product. Don't laugh at me, be nice with me. And yeah, I know that this the switch exercise is used a lot in storytime animations. When a character moves and pops around, we gotta feel that it's moving, but in actuality, there's just 2 drawings and a little bit of squash and stretch in between. So today we're actually gonna be doing a little switch exercise. You don't even have to know how to draw to do this. It's gonna be almost like a, what do you call it? No, 2,5D is something different. Well, you don't have to use any drawing skill to do so, but if you want to, you can choose objects you'd like to animate and do this with me. I'm actually going to be using this object and turning it into this beautiful cup. And we'll be able to do it in just about, I think 4 frames, 3-4 frames, just to make this magic trick happen. So Now, we have these two beautiful objects. One of them, both of them are from the Met. One is from, I think, 100 BCE, and one is from the 19th century, but we can all make them work together. I'm using Clip Studio Paint. You can use any software of your choosing, whatever you're comfortable working with. I'm actually more comfortable using TV Paint, but unfortunately, with the browser, OBS running, and everything, my TV Paint, it doesn't crash, but the lag is so big that I'm not able to draw anything. So we're gonna start by creating an animation layer and putting our two drawings inside of it. And just for convenience sake, I'm going to rename them to 1 and 2. So the switch feels like a little magic trick. We only need 2 images and one, usually maybe 2 little additions in between to really sell it. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna line them up in one place. There we go. Usually if we just run it like this, nothing happens. It's just a little slideshow. But if we add a little motion that unites them in between, we're gonna sell that feeling of something changing. So what we're gonna do is copy the frame over here. We got number 2. We're gonna use free transform. We're gonna make it a little wider and a little shorter. As you remember, the squash and stretch works. There's a very important principle that every object has a specific volume it's occupying in the space. So if you squash it on top, it has to go sideways, like it has to stretch out horizontally. So there we go. We have a little thing. And now what we're gonna do is copy one more frame. Takes a while to copy because it's just a bunch of actions my Clip Studio Paint is doing. And then we're gonna take a free transform 2 again. And we're gonna make it let's see if it works. No, that's a little too much. I'm probably gonna take this, make it a little thinner, and pull it up just a tiny bit. Go. And let's see, I have no idea what's gonna happen. Usually when I'm animating live, everything goes wrong, so you'll have to bear with me. There we go. I mean, it actually is working. Without making any kind of morphing, it's actually really cute. It's a lot cuter than I expected would be. Without actually making a morphing frame in between, we are selling the motion that the object is turning into another thing. We can push this a little bit more. For example, we can make the jump even more stronger. We can pull, for example, let's have like one more extra. Watch this, watch this. I'm gonna make it extra and then it's gonna break. But that's part of the fun. Can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs, so. Let's push this even more. And pull this a little lower. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. And then we're gonna copy. There we go. pull this a little bit away, and then let our cup soar right into the air, so it'll be able to weep like this. Oh, so we added even a bit more energy to it. And depends on what kind of motion you want to make. You can play with it as much as you want to. You can also put it on like a space, for example. You can make a line with the same objects. We're gonna do it on the same layers. So we'll have our object number 1 over here, our object number 2 over here, and then stretch it accordingly. Let's move our cup closer here. And this one. We'll see. Let's hope. Hold my hand when we're doing this. Too much. The thing is, it's all about the right spacing and timing. And if you make the spacing and timing a little bit too monotone or too slow, the beauty is going to be lost. See, I did get overconfident. Well, no, it still works. So yeah, there you go. And you can play as much as you want with it. And let me show you what's actually going to happen if we stretch the frames out and try making it slow, quote unquote. As you can see in the bottom, you can see how many frames each of my drawings occupies on the timeline. And before we had it very, very fast. The switch was practically 1 frame for some of the images. And now we make it slow. It works, but it does feel a little bit wrong. If we stretch out it even more, let me see. Can you believe this? If it's still gonna work? It shouldn't. But we're just that good. There we go. Yeah, the more you stretch it, the more magic it's losing in the process. So whenever you're using the switch, remember to be fast and quick with it so the viewer can't really perceive all of the images well and view it as one solid motion like this. You can do this with some objects from the Met, like I did, and also you could use it in your personal drawings. And as probably some of you may have seen, I shared a little teaser on Instagram before actually running the stream yesterday. I was preparing all night yesterday. I did a little drawing of my personal character. You can use any character of your choosing. It could be our mascot, the rabbit. You probably have seen him on Edward's streams. But also you can, make your own OC. This is my character. Some people who've been here for more than 2 years can probably recognize him as the kitty count. I use them for some animation exercises and experiments that we ran in faraway 2023. So here I drew about 3 frames. Let me find it on my timeline. So here's number 1, number 2, number 3. And it looks like this in motion. it kind of works. You can see the movement, but I think if we add those little squashes and stretches we did for the switch with the vase and the, what do you call it? The glass, we can make it work even better. And I'm gonna show you what's underneath it because it's a secret. So let me copy the frame. Let me use the mesh transform. I'm using Clip Studio Paint X, but there's a lot of free softwares you could be using to make the same thing. So here we have our frame number 2. So previous one is the same one, and then we want to go into this one. So what I want to do is take our mesh transform. Thankfully, I have it in the quick actions, and then they just added it on the command bar. But I like having it in a little separate window. And just squash and pull a little bit our character down. Let's see, maybe like this, as if he's part of the motion. Okay, 1, and then we're gonna have another one, 3 frames before we switch to the next instance. We're gonna make this, we're gonna mesh transform. We forgot to select the character itself. And then we're gonna take the head and move it just a little bit so we have that squash. And now let's take a look. And through just one little specific edit, we already have a motion that's a lot more believable, and the viewer, when looks at the animation, can perceive the motion that's actually happening. And we didn't have to draw anything extra. So this is a very simple way of making your character. And I've seen a lot of actually animators on YouTube do the same thing. One of my favorite, probably those who are on TikTok a lot, probably recognize the motion. For example, this one, I love it, would Raw say. They're basically doing the same thing, but they have an additional little frame in between when they switch the hands. Or it could be something more complicated. For example, if you're seeing Knights of Guinevere, almost the same thing. The timing here is a little bit slower. That's why we perceive the motion as a little bit more choppy. But at the same time, it's a much more realistic drawing. So I think it works to its benefit. And you can do basically one like we did just right now by drawing frame number 1, where the character is positioned right now. Frame number 2, what we want to see in the end of the motion. Here it's technically the middle, but the second part is copy pasted and reversed. So, and then just add a little breakdown by squashing your character a bit, and it works as a solid movement. And you can also try doing this at home. But if you want to make something a little bit more complicated, push it a little bit further, you can also do some extra images by still remembering about the timing, spacing, and everything in between. Let me show you. We have the same picture. Let me actually delete some frames so you won't be able to see it. Instead of, oh no, I deleted the wrong one. There we go. So now we still have the same original picture as in our first example. We have the one in the middle, but instead of doing just a simple squash and stretch, we're moving our character just a tiny bit. You can see the shoulder starts to move the head is changing the angle just slightly. And some of the objects, for example, like the ribbon and the, what do you call it? The ends of the bow are starting to go in an arc. And then it changes. So you already have a complete motion that is pretty believable. You can leave it at that. Or you could start thinking about spacing and how it feels very good when you have a slow motion and there's a lot less space between the drawings and the poses. So here, for example, I drew two more little images like this. That give us a little more space. Let me show you. If you use a special animation X-ray vision, you can have these arcs appear on the screen. And as you can see here, here are my middle motions over here. And here are my kind of freezing poses. And when the character freezes in a pose, the spacing becomes much smaller, so the viewer has more time to take in that, oh, the hand is starting to kind of change motion back and forth. And if we keep it on, and I turn it on, you can see in real time, basically, how much time our little kitty count spends kind of staying in one pose and changing the direction. Without the arcs, it's gonna look something like this. And here we have a much more smoother motion of the kitty swaying back and forth. And it was just done through the same principles as we did with the cup and the vase. We had our keys that are going to be labeled number 1. So this is the pose I came from. This is the pose I want my character to go. And then I added a breakdown to show how the movement is going to be made. And that's how it goes. Maybe I should have done less work preparing because everything looks all good and ready, but it actually took me a couple of tries to get it right. And that's why I wanted to do it before the stream so we wouldn't have to spend time looking more or less at my mistakes. But you can try the same thing at home by doing the keys first, then making a simpler version with some squash and stretch like we did with the objects, and then you can try something more complicated with the additional breakdowns in between. And then you have basically a ready animation meme. If you have any questions or you would like me to do like another demonstration with some objects that I'll draw for you, maybe you have 2 objects you want to see getting switched back and forth, I could do it for you now, but otherwise, yeah. It would work with a smear as well. I don't see any objection to that. Smears work a little bit, well, you don't really need a smear when you're doing like a switch. But yeah, you put smears as just like a really quick change. So for example, it will go somewhere in between these 2 frames. But here we don't have a motion that's so fast and so big that it requires a smear. And a smear for Gabrielle, who's asking what it is. When you film on a camera, for example, and something moves really, really fast, for example, let me do this. See? My fingers don't always look completely They don't have like a complete border. They look a little bit smudged. That's motion blur. And when we draw very fast, very quick movements that we have little time to show, but we need to tell the viewer that something goes really fast through a big leap in space, we use a smear to show the arc of that object. For example, how I showed the little arcs here, you would basically draw a smear by the arc to kind of tell the viewer, give him this like one frame impression of how that object was moving through space. Exactly. Exactly. That's how when you distort a frame to show a fast motion. To make coherent arcs, you just have to, like, I would say, look very hard and check yourself once in a while. One very good method that is actually kind of resonating with our last object over here. Actually, you can see there's like one firefly, even two, that do a smear, and that's basically what it is. You take a specific part of the object, for example, we're gonna do it together. Let's see, let's make something, we'll see it, blue, big, like this. And let's take the nose, for example. We're gonna make our drawing a little bit more transparent, so it won't bug us as much. Go to frame number 1, and there we go. We put a dot right in the center of our nose. Let me actually redo this. Yeah, there we go. We go to our next frame, and we see how the character moved up a little bit. So that would be number 2. For easier, probably I should do it like this. Since the movement is more subtle, we need more space. There you go. 2. Then the character starts getting ready to swing into the motion. So we have it here, right in the middle, and it's easing in back. And there you go. And once you see where your frames are, you're able to trace an arc. Sometimes when you're animating something and you feel that something's like moving kind of janky, like something is shaking when you don't want it to shake, this is the best tool you can use to check that arc. I don't know, there's definitely stuff that shakes and probably looks a little wrong. Let's do that right now. Improve our animation a little bit. As you can see, between the kitty's legs, there's the part of the cape that we're able to see, a little corner, but I don't like how it's jumping around a little too much. And I think it doesn't work for the movement very well. Let's go to frame 1. Let's zoom in. And let's mark the end of the cape right here. So let me move this a little bit. Yeah, so I'll be able to jump back and forth on the timeline. Julia, I'm very happy to have you here as well. Feel free not only to stay at the YouTube channel, but go to our Discord server. And obviously, let me plug that in for all of us. If you like what you see and actually you want the skill to do all of these animations on your own, not specifically on this YouTube channel, but in a professional studio or as part of a bigger production, you're always free to check out our animated courses. We have courses in traditional animation, visual development, and short film creation. And basically, going through the courses, it's going to give you a very good foundation first. Then you'll be able to build on that foundation with more complicated skills like moving your character in space, acting, and by the end, you actually be able to have a good portfolio to get positions in what do you call it, in the industry. That's what basically happened to me before. I wasn't animating anything. When I just joined, by the end of the course, I had a pretty solid portfolio to start on the very basic positions. And now, just a couple of weeks ago, I finished work on a little, not a little actually, it's like 15 minutes, short film as rough animator and layout artist. So obviously, you will have to work a lot and you have to practice a lot, but still, the course gives you ability to actually go for being a part of the industry in the future. Let me put some water because I've been working at home in silence for most of these days. So talking for more than 20 minutes, it makes my throat go completely sore. So here we have one, we have two, we have three over here. Then we don't see it. Then we have one here, two, three, four. I think we can change that. So let's go back to our main layer with the kitty. We make the size smaller. We have one, two, three. Yeah, and also you can see here, it's down here, and then it shoots up only to get down here again. Then to make this work, I think what I'm gonna do is bring the cape higher up. Maybe like this. Thank you for the congrats. I know. Hopefully, the future will hold many more good projects. I told myself let me drink some water, put some water in my cup, and then didn't drink anything. So there you go. 2, 3, 4. We can make this lower. Yeah, I don't like how. Oh, also, a lot of times this happens. Character fully moves, cape moves, but because the spot, this one, is like locked in place, this gives us an icky feeling. Here, see? I can even hold my. Well, yeah, you can see it. There. I'll go back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. So to fix that, we can move this even lower. Lower and more to the side, so we can have it like this. Let's see now. Here we can't see the end of it at all. And then let's see. Already a little better, still a bit janky. Let's see where the jank is. We go 1, we go 2, 3, 4. Let's imagine it's there. 5. I already see the problem. 6, 7, 8. So first, probably what I want to change is this frame right here, because the previous frame before it and the next frame after it is implied to have a much lower point than this one, and this makes it shaky. And this is basically what you do, but with all frames, all of the body mechanics, just checking it back and forth, making sure everything is on proper arcs. That's like, I think the only way to actually have smooth motion is to be very intentional about where you're placing your character details and how they're placed compared to all of the other frames. So here, da, 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 da. There we go. 1, 2. And I think I don't like that it goes so far up. Let me see. Yeah, we can definitely make it at a little lower angle. Also, I've been completely obsessed with this song. The every other day I'm wondering. It's been such a like infestation in my brain. Whenever I walk, whenever I do something, whenever I work, listening to that song doesn't help either, because it doesn't satisfy the itch. If I was able to use that music as the background, I would just have it on loop right now. So you would feel what it's like to be me. Let me check the rest of the things. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Let's say that's 4. 5. We're getting somewhere. 6, 7. And I think perfect would be 8 if we move frame number 1 lower. Oh, hello. How's it going? Long time no see. I am fixing one minuscule little detail. As an example, how to make arcs work. Let's go here. Go like this. Okay. Will this work now? It's still jumpy. Yeah. Let me come back to the. There we go. Yeah, I like it a little bit more now. Yeah, very long time. Mm. Yeah, as you can see, it changed a little bit, but my uh, animator's heart, that is very privy to every little detail on every little frame, makes me feel a little bit more satisfied. And that's the goal. And you can basically, since it's a very sketchy animation, a lot of the drawings are done with a bunch of strokes, and our brain kind of picks that the one that looks the best. And if you start like lining it out one frame, I'll probably find more issues to be unsatisfied with. But so far, I think it looks pretty good, and I think we still fixed that little end of the cake. So yeah. What else I can share with you today? I think I overdid all of the stream preparation yesterday, and yeah, I didn't realize it's just gonna go like fly by so quickly as it did right now. I think it can stay for more like 5 6 minutes, maybe. Oh, it says 52 on my clock right now. I can stay up to 00 minutes and just answer any questions you have uh, about animation, about the school, or about some more stuff like we did with smears and arcs. And basically, I'm here to serve you. So, but yeah, I really like how it turned out. I wish it happened live on stream, but you just have no idea how many tries it actually took me to get the poses like good enough for me to show. Do something with a humanoid character. Humanoid, like the one that's like as has like humanoid proportions. What kind of humanoid we're talking about? I might actually do it on the next loop de loop. Let me actually check what we have. Oh, that's the wrong window. So let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. We have. How long? You can actually see. Oh, well, the work time is. Let me show you them. No. Where was my work time? Ah, there it goes. I don't know if you can see it well, but the total time for this little animation, the little additional things here and here, and sitting obviously here, took 4 hours and 23 minutes. I'm not a fast gal. We can do some humans. Let me see what we have. We have. Next one is gonna be about different materials and how they react with the environment, like bowling ball and a ping pong ball, what the difference would be and how would show it. So maybe not a lot of humanoid animation, but I think we move around some stuff. Da, 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 da. I know. Either next loop-de-loop or the loop-de-loop after that, we're actually gonna do a punching animation. It's gonna be called something like a motion with impact. And I think I'm either gonna do like a little pillow, or since you requested, something more humanoid. And our character will be punching a wall with their fists, not their head. Like sometimes I want to when an animation doesn't go well, or as much as I want to, as well as I want to. So be on the lookout for the next loop de loop, and you'll get your wish granted. Also, of course, I'm gonna upload this animation that I made into the Discord, so you'll be able to uh, take it apart frame by frame and try making a character of your own do the same motion. Obviously, if you do, please share it on the Discord server because I love seeing what people make. I keep it in my special little locket called a folder on my desktop, which I go through once in a while. And yeah, since we have about 4 minutes, I'm gonna circle back a little bit to our Discord. And actually, this is not the only practice we are able to do in Animation Club School. There are more open practices for students and just animation enthusiasts that we run almost every Sunday and every Thursday. On Sundays, we run figure drawings called Sunday sessions. Sometimes we draw characters, sometimes we just draw and study anatomy. Sometimes we do expressions or hands. I'm gonna plug my own drawings, just like I did in the beginning. We were drawing fair maidens. So here, not only we studied characters, human figure, but we also tried to incorporate some fabrics and how they speak to the line of action as a whole. Also, I love this one. This one turned out so good. And if you want to study something like composition, colors, and things related to that, you can join us on Thursdays on Tour de Film, where moi, choose a film. If you have a film you want to draw, you can always text me a message, and I'm usually very open to requests and wishes. And we draw about 3 or 4, depending on how much energy we have, frames from that movie. I try to pick different compositions. For example, here we have an object, we have a portrait, and we have a landscape. So we try to keep it varied. And for every screenshot, we have about 30 minutes. So the whole practice, both the human drawing and the screenshot drawing, takes about 1.5 to 2 hours of your personal time. And of course, you can join the server by going down into the description of the video, and there's going to be a Discord link that will bring you right through. And of course, in the description, we not only have the Discord link, but we also have the link for our school and our courses. The next upcoming course is going to start, I think the closest one is going to start in January, which is called, I think, 1 month mentorship, or some people like to call it after class if you were a student, but as well, everyone is open, everyone is welcome to that class. Basically, what you're going to do, you're going to meet every week, I think 2 times per week. You're going to set a specific animation you want to do in a month, and with some personalized feedback from our mentor and my previous mentor, Edward Kurchevsky, you'll be able to basically make this project into completion. After that, you can join our first, second, and third course, depending on the complexity you want to handle. What was I saying? I looked onto another screen and my mind completely blanked. And on first course, you're going to study fundamentals. to basically give your knowledge of animation a good system and a good foundation to build more complicated skills. On course 2, you'll go through more dynamic shots and more complicated assignments like a walk cycle and picking up heavy objects. And in course 3, you're going to go through basically, I wouldn't call it like animation Olympics, but one of the harder tasks to handle, which is acting. You'll be taking a voice quip of your choosing. You're going to choose a character and you're going to basically make that character act on screen. And of course, we have short film creation. You've probably, some of you, I remember in the chat, told you that you found this channel through one of our short film results, which was Epic, which was made by an incredibly talented team, which I am very honored not to be a part of, but personally know and see their progress throughout the creation of the film. And now some of the people from that team are actually participating in this current short film creation, which is going to be a tribute to Critical Role, which is probably also going to be, if not just as amazing, but probably even a little bit more. Yeah, and all of it is in the description. You can always jump down. And if you have any questions about the school or your personal future experience of going to the school and attending it, there's also a little WhatsApp link where you can just straight up ask a direct question of your choosing. So yeah, I think I talked for all of those 8 minutes pretty well. I don't see if we have any more messages. We do. If you have some screenshots from different movies, you can text me on the Discord server. When you enter the Discord server, you're going to read the rules, and there's going to be my account. My name is Kata, the same as here as in the Discord. And I always try to answer messages as soon as I can. And sometimes I sleep, and sometimes I'm just not by the computer. So it could take a little bit of time. Yeah, I've talked too much. Hopefully you had a good time. We've been here for an hour, so I think you can roll this to a close. Let's remind a little bit what we did today. We talked a little bit about this neat trick called the switch, which allows us to take a little bit of keyframes as small as 2 and make them into a solid animation so the viewer sees it as a full motion. And we can do it with our own drawings, or we can straight up take some beautiful objects and make them dance on screen. So yeah, this was Kata. As you can see, no, here, 2D animator, cleanup artist. No, it's at the bottom. I'm looking at the wrong screen. 2D animator, cleanup artist, graduate of Animation Club School in 2023. I'm very bad at outros, but hopefully you had fun, and I'll be logging out. See you in a couple of weeks on the YouTube channel, or if you'd like, see you this Sunday on our on our Discord server. Sorry for being a little bit awkward. I haven't been on screen for a little while, but still, I'm very happy to see a very active chat. And yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.